Hello and welcome to official Xbox 360 Magazine's OXM report. This week we're talking to Bungie about Halo Reach. Last week at E3 they revealed a couple of new features, including the ability to play Firefight with matchmaking, a feature that's been requested by pretty much everybody who played Halo 3 ODST. We asked them at the show to explain what's new. Okay, so we're here with Lars Bakken, who's the cooperative multiplayer lead designer on Halo Reach. And your big news tonight is the return of Firefight, which is obviously very popular in ODST, but obviously much compromised. A lot of fan feedback saying that they wanted that with matchmaking, which you've now announced you're going to do in Reach.
Yes, Firefight in Reach now has matchmaking. It's very cool. Like one of the two things we really wanted to bring in ODST was matchmaking and then some sort of customizability. Unfortunately, it was a really short dev cycle. We didn't have time to kind of foresee those dreams, but now we have in Reach, and it's pretty awesome.
And because then the customization you've been talking up a lot, and that you added the ability for people to kind of create their own game types and share them on Xbox Live when you're going to be promoting them. I mean, that's a hell of a job. I mean, are you kind of handing the keys to people and expecting them to go off and create amazing things?
I think in the same way that we saw with Halo 3, we knew we had Forge, we knew we had custom game variants, the ability to save them and share them with your friends. We didn't quite know what was going to happen, but we did see amazing things coming out of that, like Griffball. Like the MLG playlist, they were creating their own maps, they had their own game types, their own custom variants, and so I think in the same way we're going to see similar things happening, and some stuff will kind of rise to the surface, and then we'll kind of pluck the cool things and hopefully put them into matchmaking if they're good enough. When you are looking at kind of custom game types that people have created, what's the kind of criteria that you judge it by when you decide to kind of bring it to the wider audience? Sure. I mean, first of all, it's got to be well thought through, and it's got to be fun. If it's broken in any sense at all, we can't put it in matchmaking because people will find exploits and they'll completely destroy it, and then it undermines matchmaking and kind of the core game types that are in there. So really, it just has to work well, and it has to be fun to play, and those are kind of the two big things that we look for.
So, and then when you're trying to work out whether it is broken or not, or how do you just look at like how popular it's been thus far? I mean, are you more likely to kind of promote the maps that are really popular and have been tested in that way?
Yes. If something's been played a lot more, then it's certainly going to have been put through the ringer. But we test them internally too, because we can't just put it out there without doing a pretty rigorous test. So we have to be very careful about what we're taking in and what we're putting out there.
And the other thing that you've announced here at E3 is the big reveal at the Microsoft conference was kind of space battles, taking us off the surface of Reach and fighting up there. I mean, how big a part of the game is that? Because we got a really brief glimpse. I mean, can you share any more details?
You know, the space combat, like anything else, it's kind of a piece of the core combat of Reach, but it's just a small taste of it. So it's not like you're going to be fighting in outer space for 4 levels. It's one part of one level, in the same way that you can imagine, the tank level was in Halo Combat Evolved, where you kind of get to a certain point, you get in the tank, you have an amazing ride with the tank, you get to a point, you get out, and then you're back kind of on foot. So you can imagine space combat is very similar to that.
I'm kind of sticking with the space combat. Is that something that you're going to be bringing to multiplayer as well? I mean, can we look forward to kind of multiplayer dogfights?
So the way space combat works, because Reach supports 4-player cooperative multiplayer through the campaign, when you are fighting in outer space and you're playing 4-player co-op, each person has their own saber and they're actually flying in outer space and attacking and doing everything together. So yes, you're able to play together in outer space.
Together but not against each other.
Correct.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers. For more on Halo Reach and everything else we saw out at E3, check out the next issue of the mag, which is on sale next week.